everyone, welcome back to our top 10 series where we give you super cool, awesome top 10 lists. I'm Courtney McGinley. Today we have the top 10 list of celebrities who committed awful crimes. But before we get into these scary acts, I want to know, what do you think is the worst crime someone could possibly commit? Let me know down in the comments. Alright, coming in at our number 10 spot we have Martha Stewart for insider trading. This one, it made headlines. Everyone heard about it. Everyone's favorite TV personality who taught us all to make delicious food. Well, that all kind of came to a quick halt because back in 2004 when she was convicted of insider trading, Stewart avoided a loss of $45,673 by selling 3,928 shares of her I'm Clone system stock in December 27, 2001, after receiving non-public information from her broker. The day following the sales, the stock fell 16%. Then in 2003, she was indicted by the government on 9 counts, including charges of securities and obstruction of justice. She went through a highly publicized 6-week jury trial and she was found guilty in March 2004. She spent years making her comeback and finally was placed back on the board of directors of Martha Stewart Living Omni Media in 2011. And at number 9 we have Tim Allen for drug trafficking. Before he started his career as Tim the Toolman Taylor and Santa Claus, oh man, I love that movie, he was actually arrested for drug trafficking in the Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport back on October 2nd, 1978. He was caught with over 650 grams of cocaine in his possession. He ended up pleading guilty to drug trafficking and received a life sentence. But he elected to have his sentence reduced to 3 to 7 years in exchange for the names of other dealers. After only serving 2 years and 4 months, he was paroled on June 12, 1981. I guess that was a pretty good call on his part because he went on to have an extremely successful acting career. And I'm personally happy about it because Home Improvement was a great show and The Santa Claus is a movie that I legit watch every single year. And now he's also a great citizen, so hooray for that. Coming in at number 8 we have O.J. Simpson for burglary. Now some of you are probably like, burglary? Didn't he kill his wife Nicole Simpson? Well, he was eventually acquitted of the murder of Nicole and Ronald Goldman, even though there was a famous trial and many people still to this day think he did kill them. If he was proven guilty of that, then he would for sure be in the number 1 spot on this list. But since he was not found guilty of that, we're going to be talking about his 2007 charge where he was arrested for robbing a Las Vegas casino, holding 2 dealers at gunpoint and stealing NFL memorabilia. While stealing this isn't an awful crime, he's still on the list due to the fact that many people still believe he should have been charged for his wife's murder, and the fact that there's so much evidence supported that he did do it, just not enough to lock him up. And at number 7, Charlie Sheen for pretty much everything. Literally, what hasn't this man done? A few years ago, Sheen was on a drug and porn star rampage, but all of his problems, they actually go much further back than just this past few years. In 1990, Sheen actually shot his then fiancée Kelly Preston through the arm and claimed it to be an accident, but nonetheless, she obviously called off the wedding. Then in 1998, he overdosed on cocaine and was sent to rehab. Well, as we all know, it didn't really work out. Then again in 2009, he was faced with charges of assaulting his wife, Brooke Bueller. Then in 2010, he was removed from a hotel after causing $7 grand worth of damages. And at number 6, we have Chris Brown for battery. Pretty much everyone has heard about this case. On February 8, 2009, Chris Brown and then girlfriend Rihanna had an argument that escalated into physical violence, where Rihanna was hospitalized and had very obvious injuries on her face. Chris Brown ended up turning himself in and he was booked under suspicion of making criminal threats. However, the female name was not released, but within the blink of an eye, the media was all over this and they revealed that the victim was Rihanna. The following month, on March 5th, he was charged with a felony assault and making criminal threats. 6 years later, on March 20th, 2015, Brown's probation was ended, which formally closed the felony case that came from the Rihanna assault. And at number 5, we have Jay-Z for drug dealing and attempted murder. Jay-Z, what's going on, man? Recently we found out you're cheating on the goddess of all women, your wife Queen Bee herself, and now this? Through his songs, we know that he used to be a drug dealer in NYC. In 1999, Jay-Z suspected record executive Lance Rivera for bootlegging his upcoming album at the time, which was Volume 3. And he ended up stabbing Rivera in the stomach while out at a nightclub party. After they were done yelling at one another, Jay-Z went up to Rivera and stabbed him with a 5-inch blade in his midsection. Coming in at number 4, we have Mark Wahlberg for racist attacks and attempted murder. Marky Mark, what are you doing on this list? Well, he may have his life together now, but at a younger age of 13, he was headed down a very dangerous path. Just as he was entering his teen years, he was already addicted to cocaine as well as other drugs. When he hit 15 years old, he had a civil action filed against him for harassing black children. And at just 16, he assaulted 2 Asian men in racially motivated attacks. The first man, he beat him up and he knocked him unconscious, and then the next guy, he ended up blinding him in one eye. Wahlberg was charged with attempted murder, but he ended up pleading guilty to assault. He was sentenced to 2 years in a house of correction, but only served 45 days of his sentence. In at number 3, we have Sean Penn for domestic violence. Sean Penn is now very well known for his numerous acts of humanitarian work. However, when he was married to pop star Madonna, he was definitely more well known for his temper. In 1987, after Madonna called off their marriage, a drunk Penn broke into her house. He tied her to a chair, beat her, and only let her go after she agreed to perform a degrading sex act on him. Previous to this, he had hit her across the head with a baseball bat. Coming in at number 2, Mike Tyson for rape. This is one I never knew about and I'm still pretty shocked. Allegedly back in 1991, Tyson was arrested for the rape of an 18-year-old girl named Desiree Washington, who reportedly he invited her to a party and then began making sexual advances towards her in his limo. Then once they got to the hotel room, she said that he pinned her down, and even after she begged him to stop, he forced himself on her. A year later, Tyson was sentenced to 6 years in prison, of which he only served 3 years. Alright, so we've been through some pretty awful crimes, but this one tops the list. In at number 1 spot, we have Ian Watkins for pedophile and attempted infant rape. This guy is disgusting, and aside from murder, I don't know what's worse than this. He was the lead singer of a rock band Lost Prophets, and in 2012 he was charged with numerous horrific crimes regarding innocent children. He was convicted of attempted rape of a child under 13, and possessing an extreme pornographic image involving a sex act on an animal. If that isn't bad enough, one of his victims was a baby boy that was given to him by the baby's mother, who happened to be a fan of his. He used his rock star status to gain access of fans' children. He ended up pleading guilty to 13 charges and was sentenced to 29 years. Well, there you have it, our top 10 list of celebrities who committed awful crimes. That last one, it kind of made my stomach turn. I don't know how people are capable of doing that. But hopefully our next list will be something that's a little more positive. So make sure you guys tune in to see what our next list shall be. And I will see you guys all in the next one. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, tell friends and family. We have more awesome lists for you guys right over here. And as always, you guys can feel free to follow me on Instagram or check out and subscribe to my personal vlogging channel called Courtney McGinley Vlogs. Have a great rest of your day.